So let's take a couple of minutes here at the top of the hour to discuss the third and final presidential debate that happened this week. I was frankly disappointed that Think Progress did a tally and found that Mitt Romney lied only 24 times in the final debate, which was down from 31 lies in debate number 2 and 27 lies in debate number 1. Only 24 lies, ladies and gentlemen. Really, Mitt, I have to tell you, I have come to expect more from you. It was a letdown. Frankly, you're not going to be president if you can only muster up 24 lies in 90 minutes. But anyway, so what did all joking aside, I guess lies aren't really a joke, but all joking about this aside, what did I think of the debate? So frankly, I thought, looking at the debate coldly and not really looking at it about the substance, I think that Barack Obama won. He was more in command. I believe he came off better. He seemed more confident, more knowledgeable, frankly, more presidential. I thought Mitt seemed kind of erratic and kind of schizophrenic a bit. However, watching the debate, it's very clear if you're watching it, when it comes to foreign policy, in my opinion, Barack Obama's policies are right-wing policies. They are right-wing policies. And because of that, in this debate, Mitt Romney really had nowhere to attack Barack Obama. Mitt Romney had nowhere to go. He had no room to criticize Barack Obama's foreign policy from the right. There really was not any, he could sort of, say that he didn't say terrorism quick enough, or something like that. But that's pretty much it. Because Barack Obama, frankly, had and has a better grasp on details, Obama comes off better. He comes off as the winner of the debate because he was the more competent right-winger on the stage. And again, the debate was essentially, okay, Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, you both clearly love Israel. Who loves Israel more? Who wants more crippling sanctions on Iran? Who wants them faster and harder? Who will bomb Iran faster? We learned that Mitt Romney likes Barack Obama's drones program. So that's nice. Drone death from the sky is a bipartisan policy. Obama, he had some funny lines. He's a funny guy. The horses and bayonets line, it was funny. The battleship line was funny. But again, that's all this debate actually was. It was all about style. Because on substance, on actual policy, they agreed on pretty much everything at the debate. And frankly, we as progressives should be very concerned about that. We should be concerned that Mitt Romney wasn't able to attack Obama from the right. Because, here, more to that point, the day after the debate on Morning Joe, which again is not a liberal show by any stretch of the imagination, they actually talked about the drone question. And credit to Joe Scarborough here. Joe Scarborough, who is a Republican, who is a right-winger, Joe Scarborough actually managed to raise serious questions about, when it comes to drones, who we're actually killing, the legality of who we're killing with drones, about the hypocrisy of Democrats and liberals who were all up in arms over George W. Bush, who are now tragically silent when it comes to something like drones. He also talked about the blowback of killing innocent men, women, and children from the sky with a joystick from thousands of miles away. And frankly, the whole segment is actually worth watching, and I suggest you check it out. But I want to play the end of the segment where Obama supporter Joe Klein from Time had the following sick and disgusting thing to say. This is Joe Klein on Morning Joe.
If it is misused, and there is a really major possibility of abuse if you have the wrong people running the government. But the bottom line in the end is whose 4-year-old gets killed. What we're doing is limiting the possibility that 4-year-olds here are going to get killed by indiscriminate acts of terror.
Dear God, What a sick and twisted human being. Limiting the possibility that 4-year-olds here are going to get killed by killing their 4-year-olds. Because that's our only option, right? That's our only option. We can either kill their 4-year-olds or they can kill our 4-year-olds. We have to stop them from killing our 4-year-olds by killing their 4-year-olds. It is sick. Joe Klein is a sick, demented human being. But sadly, that is not an uncommon defense. That is not an uncommon thought. Frankly, too many Democrats and too many liberals just shrug off this program. Like somehow when we kill innocent 4-year-olds, that's not an indiscriminate act of terror. Oh, how the hell do you think the families of those innocent people feel? How are they going to react? I've said this so many times on this show before. Our policies, our indiscriminate drone policies are breeding the next generation of terrorists. The next group of people that will, yes, in fact, come to kill our 4-year-olds. And just the idea that he says that as long as it's good people in the government who decide who we blow up from the sky without due process, as long as it's good people, it's fine. Drones are fine as long as it's a nice person who's blowing up the innocent 4-year-olds. Frighteningly, the Washington Post has a new report on how President Obama's secret kill list, which we've talked about before, on how his kill list is actually expanding and, in fact, being codified for future presidents. It's being codified into a new list that is apparently called the, quote, Disposition Matrix. That's right, the Disposition Matrix, which obviously has a very creepy sci-fi Orwellian ring to it. Reading from the Washington Post, quote, White House counterterrorism advisor John Brennan is seeking to codify the administration's approach to generating capture kill lists, part of a broader effort to guide future administrations through the counterterrorism processes that Obama has embraced. End quote. That's nice. That's nice of Obama. That's nice of Brennan. In case Obama loses, or, in 4 years when the next president takes over, if they want Mitt Romney to be able to step right up and blow people up from the sky without due process. Or if Mitt Romney loses, the next 4 years. But let's hope that those presidents are good guys. Let's hope that they're good guys and nice guys. I sure would hate it if bad guys could blow people up indiscriminately. Wouldn't that be horrible? The Washington Post also reports that the CIA is asking for an expansion of armed drones. Reading on, quote, the database, when I'm talking about the database here, the Matrix database is meant to map out contingencies, creating an operational menu that spells out each agency's role in case a suspect surfaces in an unexpected spot. If he's, reading on, quote, if he's in Saudi Arabia, pick up with the Saudis, a former official said. If traveling overseas to Al-Shabaab, we can pick him up by ship. If in Yemen, kill, or have the Yemenis pick him up, end quote. That's what they mean by Disposition Matrix. How to dispose of whoever is on the current administration's kill list. I guess it's nice to have our options all on the table, but let's get, about the Matrix, the Disposition Matrix, I wish I could tell you folks that there is no spoon, there is no spoon, but there is a horrible, illegal, civil liberty, basic decency destroying spoon here, folks. The Matrix here is being developed by the National Counterterrorism Center, or the NCTC. It is being developed to, quote, augment those organizations' separate but overlapping kill lists, referring to the CIA and the Pentagon. Because really, don't you hate it? Don't you hate it when your kill lists repeat and overlap? I hate that. I got one kill list on the fridge. I got one kill list on the coffee table. Got one kill list in the bathroom. Can't we just have one kill list around here? Is that too much to ask? Cade Crockford from the ACLU of Massachusetts, who was, of course, just on the show, writes and reminds us that the NCTC is actually the organization that handles the, quote, massive secretive data collection and mining of trillions of points of data about most people in the United States, end quote. So let's just break this down. What exactly does this all mean? I could try to explain it, but I'm just gonna read from Glenn Greenwald because, frankly, Glenn's an expert on this stuff. Glenn Greenwald from The Guardian writes it and sums it up, quote, "What has been created here, permanently institutionalized, is a highly secretive executive branch agency that simultaneously engages in two functions. One, it collects and analyzes massive amounts of surveillance data about all Americans without any judicial review, let alone search warrants. And number two, creates and implements a matrix that determines the disposition of suspects, up to and including execution, without a whiff of due process or oversight. It is simultaneously a surveillance state and a secretive, unaccountable judicial body that analyzes who you are and then decides what should be done with you, how you should be disposed of, beyond the reach of any minimal accountability or transparency." End quote. That sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds like something we'd want any president to have. Any president, Republican, Democrat, whatever. And I'm sure all American citizens are safe when it comes to this. I'm sure no American citizen will ever fall victim to something like this, except that they already have. President Obama has already assassinated American citizens without trial. And his list is getting bigger and more official. Folks, I hate to say this. I wish I didn't have to say it. But whether or not Barack Obama is reelected, this right here, what we're talking about right here and right now, this will sadly, I believe, be Barack Obama's most lasting legacy. Not Obamacare. No. This. The setting up of an ongoing structure for extrajudicial killing, for killing without any type of due process at all. But luckily, folks, Mitt Romney agrees with President Obama. So if Mitt Romney wins, the program's safe, and Mitt Romney can continue forth with due process-free killing. The innocents that'll be blown up. The innocents that'll be blown up and murdered with the people that someone somewhere in the government secretly classified as a bad guy. The innocents, the 4-year-olds that will be murdered because of this program. I guess we can just shrug our shoulders, right? Shrug our shoulders and say, well, at least they're not our 4-year-olds, right? We'll be right back.